Plug it in, plug it in. Hello everybody out there in internet world. My name is Mr. Henriksen. Welcome to Garage Math. I am Mr. Henriksen and this is my garage. All right, today's lesson, probably the foundation of algebra. Sometimes you can use math words like algebra and pre-algebra and start to get all nervous and, oh man, that's going to be difficult. It's not actually as difficult as you might think. It's really just plugging stuff in for stuff and solving stuff. Okay, I'm out. No, it's a little bit more than that. But this is kind of a one-off lesson. I just thought this would be fun. Anybody could use a review for this, and if you're not yet to this topic, then this would be great for you because this is, like I said, it's sort of the foundation because you have to crawl before you walk. So, evaluating expressions. And again, we've talked about what expressions are. It's basically just a bunch of math stuff that does not have an equal sign. So evaluate, fancy word for solve. They're going to give you some variables, which are letters, and then they're going to give you a numerical value, and plug it in, plug it in. I've been singing that for a long time now, and I've yet to come across a kid who has any idea what I'm talking about. So obviously, plugins no longer exist. Maybe they do exist, but when I was a kid, there were those things you plugged into the wall, it would heat up the oil, and then it would have a nice aroma, maybe a vanilla, a lavender. I prefer the wax melts, vanilla cookie crunch. Am I right? Anyways, and they used to have a jingle. Plug it in, probably 20 years ago, maybe, and I still sing it to this day because it fits. So basically what's going to happen is I have 4 expressions. Then we are going to use 2 for x, 5 for y. We're going to plug them in, and I know some of you want to do them in your heads, or maybe you just do part of it in your head, part of it on paper, then it's all scribbly. That's not how you're going to do algebra. You're going to plug it in, we're going to work down. If it's a fraction, we could work sideways. So the other side of this paper has 4 more problems, yet those problems are negatives. And if you haven't got to negative world yet, no worries. Stick around for the show, follow along. But if you're all that in a bag of Funyuns, hit pause right now and solve all these. And then when we get to the other side, try to stay ahead and see if you can get a perfect 8 for 8. If this isn't your total jam, then just follow along. Either watch, or you all should have a notebook out and you should be keeping up. Okay, first thing you have to understand is when you have a variable and a variable touching and there's no operation sign between them, it means multiply. Okay, so if you have a minus or a plus or a division bar, then you would use the appropriate sign. However, x, y, so here's all we do. You just take 2 and you just take 5 where x is 2 and y is 5. You just plug it in. Plug it in, plug it in. X is 2, y is 5. The answer is 25. It's not 25. Because it's multiply. So we have 3 ways we can use it. We don't use we don't use x anymore. That's so like 2nd grade. So I'm a big fan of either the dot. You could use the dot. Good. Or you could use, I like the parentheses. Okay? X, Y, 2, 5, 2 times 5. The answer is 10. Okay? There you go. We're good. And we're going to use order of operations, of course, as we go down some of these. And it's important that you go back to the order of operations video if you forgot how to do order of operations. Okay, 2x minus 7. Before you do anything, you're just going to copy the stuff. 2x means 2 times x. X means a variable. It doesn't mean multiply. Otherwise, you'd have 2xx. That's why we don't use the x. 2 times x, x is 2. I'm going to use the parentheses minus 7, okay? And then we use order of operations. We have a multiply, we have a subtract, and you know to multiply. 2 times 2 is 4. And, we are going to have a negative on this side. I didn't think we were, but that's okay. You know 4 minus 7 is negative 3, because if you take a bigger number from a smaller number, it has to be negative. Okay, 2 times 2 is 4. 4 minus 7 is negative 3. Very cool. Okay, exponents. This is division. Plug it in, plug it in. X is 2, so we just plug in 2 for here. Everything else stays the same. I would have worked sideways on that problem. Oh, I still can. 2 squared, 2 times 2 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Very cool. Again, these don't have to be super difficult as long as you what? Correct. Okay. Distributed property. You know what we could do? We could distribute first and then plug in second. I don't want to do it that way. So anywhere I see a variable, I'm going to put its value. X is 2. 3 times y is 5. Again, you have to show it using a parentheses. Ooh, double parentheses, okay? Now this is where you gotta go to order of operations. You can go 2 plus 3, or you could go 3 times 5. You got that right, 3 times 5, 3 times 5. 3 times 5 is 15, okay? I might run out of room, but I don't want to take any shortcuts because that's how I'm teaching it. 2 plus 5 is 17. 4 times 17. Ooh, you want to use distributive property to show us how to do this? Okay. We can break 17 into 10 plus 7. We can do this in our head. We can do this in our head. Okay? 4 times 10 is 40. 4 times 7 is 28. 4 plus 28. The answer is 68. Okay, I would have liked to have one more line here. I wouldn't have put it over here otherwise. 17 times 2 is 34, and then you do another times 2 is 68. Okay, cool. So hopefully you guys understood this. We're gonna make it a little more difficult, and I wrote out some other problems, and I left that in my house. No, my house isn't very far, so it's actually kind of that door right there. So here's what we're gonna do. While I go and get the other 3 problems, I didn't want to pre-write them, because if I pre-written them, route them, then I wouldn't know how much space to use, and I don't want to cram, because the really important thing about math is it's never a time to save trees. Okay, I'm gonna go grab these 3 problems. It's literally, my kitchen's right here. It's gonna take me, you can count, it's gonna take me probably 6 seconds, but you can copy these down or you can count. I'll be back in 6 seconds. Ready? Go. I don't think that was 6 seconds. I think that was more like time out. I think that was like 10 seconds. My legs are a little sore. I refereed 2 games last night. I do a lot of officiating in the winter time. I had 2 games in Stockton last night. I had 2 games in Stockton the night before. I do have no repping tonight or tomorrow. Okay, whew, this looks more confusing. And man, that was like a 15-yard sprint, and I'm winded. All right, here's what we're gonna do. This one is gonna be really important that you plug it in, because you're gonna have negative numbers and all sorts of stuff. Okay, parentheses, and I'm gonna try this, but I'm the worst at it. Okay, anything that's not a variable, it just means it comes down. So what that means is the C is 4. Okay, shoot, I already screwed that up, because then this has to be a little 2 right there. Okay, the A is -2 plus -2. I'm just gonna put a parentheses here. It doesn't mean multiply because we have operation signs here. B is 3, okay? What's really important is, especially when you have 3 of them, is that you have to make sure you plug them in correctly. So this is the most important step. If you don't plug them in correctly and bring your subtraction signs down and keep your parentheses, then you're already done. Like if you don't have it written this way correct. And hopefully I did. 4 squared. If I didn't get it right, then what are you gonna do? Life will go on. Okay, 4 squared, 4 times 2 is 8. It's actually 16. 4 times 4 is 16. Plus -2. I'm just gonna kind of do step by step. Now, this is a little tricky. It's -3 times 3. or it's minus 3 times 3. It's kind of the same thing. What's 3 times 3? 9. Minus 9. What's negative 3 times 3? Minus 9. So however your brain sees it, okay? Now we're kind of home free. We're going to go left to right. 16 plus negative 2. And again, if you can't do this like quick, negative, positive, adding and subtracting, I have a fantastic video. If you're new to the channel and you just clicked on this one and you're like, oh, how did you do those negatives? Click on it. I have adding and subtracting, and plus I have bobbleheads. It's a whole cool thing. Okay, see what I'm saying? And it's a triangle. You got to keep it looking like a triangle. Okay, and there's no equal signs. All right, let's do this. Let's do the next problem, okay? I have 3 more. If this video goes too long, you can hit pause, go get a snack, and come back. Negative b squared minus c. Because here's the deal. This is straight up algebra. And this might make your head explode. And you're going to go, I can't do this. Yes, you can, because you know what you're going to do before you do anything? Plug it in, plug it in. All right, I'm going to try this one more time. Everything that doesn't have a variable, I'm going to try to use in blue. Okay, so that subtraction sign has to come over. The parentheses has to come over. The minus has to come over. And the 2 has to come over. I'm going to put a parenthesis there because that means multiply. Okay, all I've done is copied. I haven't done anything yet. Now let's plug it in, plug it in. B is 3. C is 4. A is negative 2. Okay, that is the most important part of the problem, because then after that, it just becomes math skills. But if you try to do this in your head, even all of you that are all that in a bag of Funyuns, you're gonna get probably jacked up a little bit. So just plug it in, plug it in. Okay, now, oh boy, we're gonna have exponents, the whole thing. Okay, Amazon's here today. Always Christmas at my house. Thank you. All right, 3 squared. Now this negative, because it's outside, we're gonna go 3 squared and that guy just pops on, okay? So 3 squared is 9. I'm gonna bring it over here. 3 squared is 9, but the negative comes with it, okay? Minus 4, okay? 2 times negative 2 is negative 4, okay? Just see, my brain has to talk it out this way. And then I kind of want to double check. 3 squared is 9. Negative 9 minus 4 is negative 13. Now, negative 9 minus 4, if you're not sure how to do that, go check out the bobblehead lesson. That's negative 13. And just to show you that I make up problems and I'm a solid C minus when it comes to making up problems, I was trying to do this. I made it up on my own to make this 12 because I wanted it to be a whole number. And even my brain wasn't smart enough for that. So I don't know what to say. But you know what we can do? This is a good problem though, because what's a negative divided by a negative? It's a positive. This is called an improper fraction. I don't understand why that's an improper fraction. I've never heard of a proper fraction. Improper is a negative word, like you're acting improper. I don't know, this is acting improper. It seems kind of judgmental, if you want my opinion, but whatever. Let's make it a mixed number. 4 goes into 13 without going over 3 times. 1's left over, and that's the answer. Okay, I sure hope that's the answer, because I haven't worked these out ahead of time, and I don't have an answer key. But if I get this wrong, sue me, because I'm a guy in a garage. All right, but I do know negative is a positive. 4 times 3 is 12, and I'll probably double check this before I post it. But let's do 2 more. Okay. All right, here we go again. If you're all that in a bag of Funyuns, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write these last 2. Ooh, oh shoot, I lost my ABC. ABC, easy as 1, 2, 3. ABC. I'll put my ABCs up. ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. Okay. A minus B plus C. Now, don't forget, A is negative 2, B is 3, and C is 4. All right, here's what you're gonna do. This is your test. If you get these right, you are the smartest human alive. I don't want you to sit here and watch the show. If you're munching on the popcorn going, I know that dude, great. How you doing? What you're gonna do is get out a piece of paper and you're gonna copy these down and you're gonna work on them. It might take you 5 minutes, it might take you 2 minutes. And some of you are gonna go, I can do these in my head. Well, okay, try, but do it on paper anyways and see if you get the same thing. Then hit pause and then come back, okay? And welcome back. I'm not gonna do all the different colors. What I'm gonna do is just kind of plug these in. A, B, C, easy as, it's A times B times C. Okay, so A is -2. We're gonna use parentheses. B is 3, and C is 4, -3 times A. Okay, I went Bing times Bing times Bing, beep, 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 -3, parentheses A, okay? Because we have it in a parentheses, that means multiply, 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 okay? Totally. If we didn't have that in a parentheses, it'd be -3 -2. All right, here we go. Let's just go. -2 times 3 is -6. -6 times 4 is -24. I sort of just skipped one little step, okay? -3 times -2. This is the trickiest one. People right here are going to get so confused. They're going to go 5, -5, 42, hike. -3 times -2 is +6. And if you didn't know that, I have a video on multiplying and dividing negative numbers. -24 +6. This was a really actual difficult problem. If you didn't go step by step, I could imagine there were just a ton of different answers for this one. Okay? So again, you just got to go step by step and use some math skills. Last one. All right. Hopefully you've already worked this one out already. -2. Okay, I'm just going to plug this stuff in. A is -2, minus B, -3, plus C, +4. Okay, now we could go, we would do that if they had different variables, but we don't need to. We could just do all of this at one time. But we're going to go from left to right. -2 -3, do that in your head. -2 -3 is -5. -5 plus, actually, you know what? I will just go one at a time. -2 -3 is -5. Okay, now, don't need to do it. Let's do parentheses. Ready? Order of operations. -5 plus 4 is -1. -2 times -1. -2 times -1 is dos. Okay, that was it. That was cool. I think this is a great lesson, probably from like 3rd grade up to 8th grade, and maybe 9th grade, or I don't care what grade. If you've never learned it, then I'm glad I could help you out. All right, we have the Circle of Math coming up. That's going to be something we're probably going to work on pretty soon. I hope everything is going great in your world. The New Year's almost here. We made it to December, and I don't know. I just hope things are cool out in the world beyond my garage. Peace.